Fred Cheney's going through hard times.
Get him out of here, Osborne. I don't care what it takes.
But he's about to get some badly needed help.
Fred, we've got to talk.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Ah, jeez, don't scream like that.
Oh, wop, bop, loop, bop, lamb, bamboo.
So prepare yourself for a motion picture
There's a horse in here.
Where?
so astounding,
He's right. They're brand new. No problem. I can hold it.
so outrageous,
What do you think of this, Mr. Horse?
Oh, yeah.
so thrilling,
Moving fast is Don.
and so sexy
She wants to know what it's like to face somebody during sex. Whoa!
that it'll bring out the animal in you.
Oh, baby.
Bob Goldthwait,
Honestly, he really does talk.
Hi, Elsa. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Dabney Coleman, and the ultimate party animal, Don,
Whoops, don't fail me now.
in Hot to Trot.
A womp bam loom off lop bam boom.
Hey, children. How you doing, Rich?
I am good. I noticed that this is the second time you're calling everyone children.
I am. I like it.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan. I'm not going to lie.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, he goes, hello, children.
Oh, wow. What a creep. I'll fuck Joe Rogan up. I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, Joe Rogan would fuck you up.
Hell no.
Yeah.
His bald head and his broken... Look, I know his weaknesses.
What's his weakness?
His knee. He's blowing that a lot. I'll
All
fucking
right.
go for a leg lock, take it out, laugh while I rip it off like a Klingon.
You hear that, Joe Rogan? He's calling you out. But let's not worry about...
No, not Joe Rogan, the podcast. I thought you meant Joe Rogan down the street. The asshole who didn't return my lawnmower.
We love that, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, of course.
So today on Beer and Bad Movies, first off, we don't have any pop dogs because I got us some beer, the champagne of beers. I got us Miller High Life and the Twist Offs.
And they are Twist Offs.
Yes, and then let's go ahead and dive right into our movie of the week. I picked this and was like, I'm going to force this down Mr. Sassy's throat, and he watched it, and he did giggle a few times.
Oh, I did. It wasn't necessarily forced down my throat. It was kind of like I eased my throat for it.
It's like I shoved my cock slowly down your mouth.
Well, look, it was a funny movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I mean, there's shit movies, and then there's Hot to Trot. And it is hot, and it's a hot day.
You know what? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's the humidity around here. You think it was fucking like Florida, the bayou.
I picked this movie because, number one, Bobcat Goldthwait is like my go-to for heroes as far as directors go.
And comedians. He's a comedian.
He's still
a
very
comedian's
funny.
Yeah.
But I love everything that he's been doing like the last 10 years. World's Greatest Dad, God Bless America, Willow Creek, Call Me Lucky, and now Misfits and Monsters. But like anytime I think about Bobcat, I don't think about the damn police academies because I'm old enough to have known those.
I still do, and I want you to know that, Bobcat. I'll never not think about those.
To me, I always think about Hot to Trot.
Always.
The little movie that...
I say Bobcat, and then no one thinks cat. Joe doesn't think, oh, cat. Oh, you saw a cat. Nope. Bobcat, he thinks Hot to Trot. What a great movie.
It is. It's... You know, what's funny is the premise can be summed up in one sentence. Yeah. So like, as if I'm pitching this to you, you're like a DreamWorks executive. All right.
Of course I am.
You know, pull the coke out of my nose.
That's a lot of coke, too, by the way.
All right. A talking horse gives Bobcat Goldthwait...
This is an 80s... Or what is this? 80s or 90s?
88.
Oh, it's 88. So this is an 88 Dick Sassy that you're pitching it to. Okay, yeah.
It's a talking horse that gives stock tips to Bobcat Goldthwait.
Gold. I would have told you, stop right... What did you say? Did you say stop?
Stop drilling, you hit oil.
Did you say horse and stock tips?
Yeah.
Approved. And the Bobcat is just... That's cherry.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not... If I'm going to link him in this, so I'm not ever shitting on Bobcat because, like, I love this movie. This isn't a great movie. It's not even really a good movie, but it's special to my heart.
For anybody else who's like for the majority of you guys out there, it would be considered a bad movie, which is why it was covered. But, you know, with the beer, it makes a bad movie really funny and tolerable. And it's not bad in the traditional sense like Transformers bad. This movie wasn't even trying, in my opinion, to be good or get an Oscar. These people were having fun. They knew they were going to have fun. It was just friends.
I really hope that was the idea because, this movie is silly. It's really very silly. But that's what just makes it so entertaining.
Yep.
You're watching Bobcat Goldthwait race, be a jockey in a horse race.
And by the way, who's the voice? The goddamn John
one of the
Candy.
Greatest. Yes, John Candy is the voice of Don the horse.
Don.
Don?
No last name either. Just Don the horse. Bobcat's new fucking best friend. Bobcat's name in the movie, by the way, is Freddy.
So it's Fred Chaney.
Oh, Fred Chaney. Oh,
yeah.
God, there you go. Fred and Don.
Yeah.
Two gay lovers. Destined for
they
greatness.
lived together.
Yep, they did. And the horse had a big old ding-dong. So this is obviously a Hollywood executive slowly, because this is what you call soft disclosure. Mm-hmm. This is what this was.
All right, so let's go ahead and just get into the plot. So Bobcat's character, his mother just died and left half of her... half of her stock exchange or stockbroker, stock account company to him and to his stepfather, who's played by Dabney Coleman. And everybody remembers Dabney Coleman. He was the asshole boss in 9 to 5. He's the asshole boss now.
Yeah.
He was even the asshole in Dragnet. Remember?
Yeah, he's actually the asshole like everywhere.
He's a great asshole.
Character asshole.
And he, from the get-go, treats Fred like shit. 2 days after his mother dies, he's already sleeping with some chick.
He has a great set of teeth in this movie, too.
Oh, the teeth. Yeah, that's some great dentures right there, I tell you what. Pardon me, we've been drinking for about an hour or so.
Oh, yeah. Hey Deborah, give me another Steve Wasser. I can't reach.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give you one. Yeah.
Because I can't reach. My arms are short.
Because the beers are over here by me.
Now, if I was a taller person, I could. I'm short. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm like 5 foot.
So yeah, there are some, what's the term I'm thinking of? Plausible deniabilities or suspension of disbelief that have to happen in this movie. Like for one, once his mother dies, basically Walter, his stepfather's mistress, moves in, throws all this stuff out. That wouldn't really happen in real life. Mm-hmm. He wants to buy. He
was banging in a barn. The stepdad was.
Who does that?
He was like banging in a barn. That means their affair was going on while the mom was dying.
Yeah, but to me, I guess that's supposed to be like the stockbroker's place to go, bang at the barn, because we see other stockbrokers.
Yeah, you're right.
But come on, a shitty hotel is better than a fucking barn.
Yeah, a roll in the hay. Who knows? There's a lot of elements to this movie, like layers and layers. Which one of these days we're gonna get some of these actors on. Mark my fucking words. Sassy ass words. We're gonna have. We're finally gonna one of these days get one of these actors or actresses on to come over here and talk with us about these movies and what it was like their experience.
Save it for your political podcast.
No. I want to hear Bobcat's take on pretending to talk to a horse.
I would love to talk to Bobcat about this movie.
That's what I'm saying. So, look, we don't have John Candy here, but do you think that maybe John Candy ever regretted? Do you think that...
I don't think so.
Do you think that on his deathbed he was like,
No. I was thinking earlier today that, what's funny about John Candy is that his comedy ranged from family to adult. I mean, Great Outdoors, which was mostly a family.
He was a lover of comedy, really, that guy.
He was so good.
Yeah.
And he could he had no barometer of being, insulting or PG, He could really do it all.
Yeah, he was Canadian.
He was. And if you ever saw his Orson Welles impersonation...
Oh, that was fucking funny.
Spot on.
That was funny.
Yes? You're jumping for a reason, young man? Who is that?
That's our director, Mr. Wells.
That is a director?
Yeah.
What? I'm on my mark. Yes, always. Move your camera.
Anyways, Bobcat, if you ever do listen to this, I would love to talk to you about how to try. I know you don't like your acting roles from the day because everyone, is like...
Because he's going to stop fucking moving his eyebrows. He's probably his own worst critic.
Well, he said on time...
look at my eyebrows.
He said so many times that just he was doing this character and Hollywood really just wanted him to be this character and he didn't like doing it. And then eventually, about 15 years ago, he stopped doing it and he kind of had a bit of backlash. That's why if you watch his comedy from, say, the late 80s to 90s, he is that character, and then around 90...
Is that when Leno turned on him? Or
no, he changed after that.
Oh.
But I really do listen to what Bobcat Goldthwait has to say because I find it interesting. So, like, I'm not saying I'm some fucking, like, you know, scholar on him, but I really do find his story in comedy and Hollywood very interesting.
You hear that, Bobcat?
Yeah. All right,
he thinks you're interesting.
I'm done sucking his dick.
Yeah, he's done. And I'm not even going to start until you come on the show. And then maybe, who knows?
We're getting off track. We got to talk about Hot to Trot.
Hot to Trot. That's Bobcat. So we're talking about Bobcat.
So Walter wants to buy out Fred, Bobcat's share of this company, and he lowballs him like a motherfucker. Walter
being Bobcat in this movie's stepdad.
Yeah.
Being a piece of shit.
Yeah. he goes, what do you think of me? And he goes, I think you're like the biggest scum on the earth. He's all, but what do you really think of me?
Yeah. He still wasn't sure.
Yeah. And he lowballs him. He wants to buy his company, or his half of the company, for $500. In 1988...
515.
No, 525.
Was it 525? I thought he crossed out the 25 and put
No, he crossed out 500 and put 525, but I just say 500 because... Now, 525 in 1988, that still is not much. That's like maybe 1,000?
Yeah, it's actually it's a pretty fucking big rip considering it's like you're a partner in a fucking in a company. So,
but the other thing that he inherits, is a horse. So he originally thinks that he's just gonna sell his horse off and get some money for it, and then the horse starts talking, and it's John Candy's voice.
Yep,
and I love it.
And instead, he offers Bobcat's character horse sex, and the movie takes a left turn from that.
This movie just
Hot to Trot too. T-O-O.
Yeah. So we find out that this horse has actually had a long life, doing so many things. They rip off Crossroads, the Ralph Macchio movie.
Yep. We had the voice of Mickey in here.
They had fucking what's his name, Burgess Meredith, who played Mickey from the Rocky movies, be Don the horse's dad. There's 3 talking horses in this movie. There's Don, his father, and then his brother Lou, who's gone crazy. Mm-hmm. And why is he gone crazy? Yeah. Because his head was chopped off. Yeah. Or his favorite actor.
You know when I think Lou started to crack? When he saw The Godfather. You know that scene with the horse's head?
Yeah, that was his favorite actor.
But yeah, so then he tries to get rid of the horse. It doesn't really happen. And then the horse is just because the barn is where all the stockbrokers like to fuck. He hears stock tips and he gives them to Bobcat. And
come to think of it, my dad in the 80s would always be gone, come back and smell like hay.
That was probably because your dad was a scummy motherfucker.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. But so that makes. But the one thing that's weird is that so Walter and Fred, Bobcat and Dabney Coleman, they both own this company, but yet they treat it as if it's 2 separate companies. So whenever Bobcat does good, oh no, Walter's pissed off. And whenever
that confused the shit out of me. Actually, is that they're both partners of the same company, and they never established, hey, I don't like this guy because he's stealing my thunder, or I'm looming in his shadow.
Yeah, it didn't quite make sense because as a kid you just knew that it was a bad guy and a good guy, but as an adult you're like, wait a minute, they both work for the same company. Why would you want to destroy one another because that's just going to take you with them?
Exactly. You think he would have been happy from all the money that he was making. Yeah. But instead, whatever the fuck.
I guess I'm in my own head in the world of Southern California stockbroking.
It's a big thing, apparently.
Apparently.
And apparently horses are reading all about it.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. That apparently, I guess, oh hey, all the stockbrokers know each other, and they're backing up only specific horses, even if they're in the same company.
And what a turn of luck that the horse had actually inadvertently overheard a stockbroker who was coincidentally banging again in the barn. So you got to think maybe they were running some kind of something out of that barn.
Yeah, was there some sort of brothel going on?
Yeah, I think there had to have been.
Just
and then he overheard it.
That had to be
because he was a pretty dirty horse.
That had to be the biggest suspension of disbelief. Okay, why does this horse hear all these stock tips at a barn? Maybe the stockbrokers are banging their mistresses? I don't know.
Yeah, all of them.
That's where they all go to fuck. There was just one guy. Hey, you want to know a good place to take your mistress to hump? Go to the El Segundo horse ranch. Mm-hmm. Trust me.
Our boss does not mind if you fuck in his ranch or fucking whatever barn they have.
Yeah.
And it was like real shitty too, like not accommodating at all.
I know.
Uncomfortable hay.
Hay with some thin ass blanket.
Yeah.
And like, hey, come on, baby, this is perfect.
Starts out with Bobcat like getting angry because his stepdad is like banging some chick.
Banging Ferris Bueller's mom.
Yeah. Because, his mom just died. So it's like, wow. And he throws a pitchfork at him. Attempted murder. Yeah. Nothing. You think, like, that's a way to start off a movie. And it kind of, like, doesn't get worse from there.
Well, so, see, that's pretty much the end of the movie up until the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
See, yeah, the whole thing is just that he's getting these stock tips from Don the Horse. It's working out. He's got a new place. There's a lot of Police Academy / Saturday Night Live alumni in this movie. Well,
nothing's changed in all these years since then. There's still a lot of Saturday Night Live alumni in all these movies.
It's always true. Yeah. But I don't see that as a bad thing. You do, so shut the fuck up.
Okay. Well, gotta ask yourself, with all these alumni in there, why couldn't it have been funnier? I asked myself.
Because this was an 80s Saturday Night Live. Aside from Robin Williams, the mid-80s, the mid and early 80s of Saturday Night Live were not doing very well. They actually say that Eddie Murphy saved that show from being canceled because he was the only one that people were viewing to watch at the time.
Talk about fucking falling off.
Yeah. And I don't take anything away from any of those people in Saturday Night Live.
I do.
Shut the fuck up. I don't, because I watched a lot of Saturday Night Live from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s.
I grew up watching it, man, but
And even though those years sucked, I still found some entertainment.
I did too, but you know what? There was like in the 90s, 2000s, there was a lot of it I liked, but the older I got, the more I was like, God, these guys, they're like new script, man. Funny has changed. It ain't like, you can't just sell funny on that.
Let's get back to Hot to Trot.
Well, it's not like John Candy was fucking SNL anyway.
He was kind of SNL.
Kind of, more of SCTV.
SCTV, which was a place where SNL got a lot of their talent.
Yeah,
but
I watched a lot of SCTV also.
SCTV
they had some funny shit.
They were great.
So I mean, the more I watched them, the more I was like, I don't know about SNL anymore. That's real shit.
They kind of became. What's funny is they did become the competitor for a little while, and then Lorne Michaels is like, we should just get our guys from that show.
Yep. Lorne Michaels is like, I'm out of ideas.
I need new talent.
Yep, and he loves sucking young cocks, so hey, there you go.
I'm not going there. So, the last half of this movie is Don's father, the horse dies. And
Mickey.
Mickey. He says, please promise me you're going to pass on your gift of speech, have a son. Even though he does the whole...
And he says it that nicely, too.
Yeah. He goes, I promise, Pop. And then the camera pans down and you see he's crossing his legs like he's crossing his fingers. Hold on.
Oh, man, that smell. Oh, it's a dead body. Oh.
So he's saying that he's not going to, but he does anyway. He finds Satin Doll. He's like, ooh, I'm in love. And...
Satin Doll, by the way, is a white horse that he really, really wants to have sexy time with.
There is like the side thing. It doesn't last very long where Fred decides to invest in this animal food company called Indio Oats, and of course his partner, who he has money invested in with, decides to lock him out so he can buy all the Indio Oats and then lose all his money.
He's a fucking idiot.
That's your money too, motherfucker.
He's a fucking idiot. Right there, I was like, oh, this fucking movie, man.
So.
Left turn to left turn and went full circle.
Somehow in the movie, Fred loses all of his money and Walter keeps the company. I don't know. So they want Satin Doll and they want.
We got to get Bobcat on here to discuss how this movie went
down. I will try.
Yeah, I want him to explain this movie. Like, you know what? This is where I was confused. Can you help me? Give me a tab, guys.
I'm sure he really gives a fuck now.
You know what? I hope this movie haunts him. On his deathbed, he's going to tell his family. You know, he's like, too hot.
Too hot.
Hot to try could have been better. We know.
Nice impression, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
So
we know Bob.
They talked Walter into making a bet that like it's my horse Don versus his now new thoroughbred. And then he's like, "Oh, come on, are you chicken shit?" And he's like, "Oh, it's all my horses against your horses or your horse." And it's like all that, and then plus like I guess like his stake in the company too.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like Walter's all in.
Yeah.
Against his one horse.
Yeah, exactly. Versus a bluff, basically.
Yeah. And then Burgess Meredith, as his father, comes back reincarnated as a horsefly.
A horsefly. So he's already had 2 days of eating horse shit.
Yeah.
Which they make apparent.
And he gives him this nice little speech like, "Come on, son, you can do it, Don, you can do it." And Don's like, "Fuck yeah, I can do it." They have the race. And the race isn't that bad. It's you don't necessarily see this coming in this wacky of a fucking movie.
As I hear you explain it, all I could see is a pothead telling me his idea to a movie, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to fund this. But yeah, it's a real movie, and here we are talking about it. It's amazing. Fucking amazing, Bobcat. I don't know how you did it, but kudos to you, man.
Yeah, so like Don the horse just kind of shit talks every horse out of winning until he gets to the very end. And isn't it so funny you watching the scenes with Bobcat on a horse, and it's so obviously not a horse.
It's not a horse at all. It's just moving up and down in a really funny position.
As a kid, you don't look at that. You're looking at the other guy, the other jockey who's talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not an actual horse.
Because when I was younger, I didn't give a shit. It was all about the horse and the main character and the agenda. It's like, are you a good guy? Yep.
But... So, yeah, Don wins. They get all this stuff. The horse gets cap teeth with a diamond in it. You know what?
Yep.
You know, Rich? I love this movie.
And who is his fucking dentist? Just to make it better.
Oh, his dentist is Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert fucking Godfrey.
I love Gilbert Godfrey.
Puts a diamond in the horse, too. And this is back before grills were really popular, too, by the way.
Yeah.
So, again, Bobcat was ahead of his time. Or whoever the fuck did that movie.
This movie wasn't pretty much a success. The budget was $9 million. It grossed
Is it still paying bills to Bobcat? Do you think, or do you
mean like he's getting money for it?
Do you think there's residuals coming in from this?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
See, this movie.
But I love the idea of Bobcat going out to the mail and being like, "Honey." It's another check from Hot to Trot. They remember.
Hot damn, another $50.
He looks up and he goes, John, God rest your soul. But I know it's not happening.
No. I don't think. But like he's been. I'm not gonna say he's well off, but like after he left being an actor, he became a really good director.
Yeah. He
directed the Kimmel Show for a couple of years. And now he's like, he's got the new show.
He's SJW pretty big, huh?
I don't know about that.
Nah, me neither, but I'll look into it.
He's, right now, he's getting credit because he came up with a show called Misfits and Monsters, which is kind of like a comedy version of Tales from the Crypt in a sense. Like, they've only had 3 episodes so far.
Oh, okay.
But it's really funny. It's really creative. The first episode was about a guy who does voiceovers for a cartoon bear. And the bear the bear comes to life and tries to kill him and his family.
Wow.
Yeah, and he based that off of how he had that scenario of being the guy with the loud screeching voice.
Yeah.
And how everybody wanted him to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm. For some reason.
Yeah, and then it was trying to kill him.
God-awful reason. That's like watching a train wreck. Hearing Bobcat's tab voice is like watching a train wreck and then asking someone, can you make more of those train wrecks happen?
You shut your dirty mouth.
Yep, I know you don't like hearing it, but it's true.
I like Bobcat, man.
Yeah, I like Bobcat too. He seems like a cool dude. Seems. But, you never know.
He's really want to come on here now with you just being like, hey, I think you might be a piece of shit.
You never know. These fucking people in Hollywood, he knows what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to shit on everyone. But, I used to love, like, all these things that came out of Hollywood. And now, I'm stuck to the B movies and B actors because so much of the mainstream stuff is just such dog shit that it's like, hey, who knew that there was a reason I was attracted to the B movies? It's because these people had comedy. John Candy proved it. That he had them, like, his comedy didn't it didn't stop and touch any one thing. Like, oh, John Candy's a Family Guy, and that's it. His comedy,
John Candy's, they ran all over. He had Great Outdoors, Summer Rental, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. He did 2 John Hughes movies.
Exactly my point.
And they're fucking brilliant.
So that's all I mean is, like, Hollywood's gotten so sensitive and so... I don't even know. I have no words for it. But, like, God...
So Hot to Trot.
When we were kids, you would think, like, Hot to Trot was... you could watch it and no one would give you shit for it. Tell me now, you put out a movie like Hot to Trot and people aren't going to be all over it like, oh, what a piece of shit, what a bigot, what a this, what a that.
Because again, remember, you got to remember, this movie did not do well to begin with. It was a budget of $9 million.
Still a funny movie.
And it made $6.5 million.
Oof.
Yeah, so it wasn't a success. But I remember the first time I saw this.
So Bobcat asked a lot of D's after this.
No.
Oh, yeah. Don't you lie to me.
He went back to Police Academy.
Yeah. Yes, so you're telling me yes, a lot of D's.
No, leave my favorite person alone right now.
Leave my cat alone.
Yeah. Get off my plane. But this movie wasn't a success. I remember seeing it a lot. Like, what's funny is that this movie was kind of like a family movie to my family.
Yeah.
There's one beer left. I'm having it because I paid for him.
Oh, hey. You know, that's really nice of you.
Yeah.
To be like Jesus and giving like that.
Eat a dick.
Bobcat wouldn't do that.
He doesn't.
After I shit on him for half the podcast.
So, I remember seeing this movie on HBO, and my mom would put it on, and she knew what it was too. My mom was grown. She was smart enough to teach me when a movie is meant to be great and when a movie is meant to be silly. So she would put on Hot to Trot and be like, come on, let's watch this. And we knew it was a silly movie. It's Bobcat Goldthwait, who, of course, had the crazy voice. And there is quite a bit of it in this movie.
Yeah, my mom did the same thing, but right after
Candy,
she would put on Silence of the Lambs.
You and me both, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, real quick. At work, so I'm on my lunch break, and somebody called me. I forget who. And my ringtone is Goodbye Horses from Silence of the Lambs. And... My phone is so slow, so it ended up playing for quite a while. I look around, everybody in the lunchroom is just like, is that your fucking ringtone? And one or two people are like,
what's it to you?
Yeah, and one girl's in the corner like, I love Goodbye Horses.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you,
but of course, the best line in this movie to me is John Candy as Don, and he does the tui.
Oh, yeah.
Haktui, Mr. Ed.
Yeah, he shits on Mr. Ed real quick.
What about, Mr. Ed?
Mr. Ed? Pooh, that's what I think of Mr. Ed. Every single word of that was dumb.
His lips were, moving.
Look, you'd move your lips, too, if some stagehand was shoving a carrot up your butt, Mr. Ed.
Quick.
I love that bit.
Yeah, I do.
It's because that's both funny and, it actually takes a little thinking. Like, how do you insult Mr. Ed, who's the one-time famous talking horse?
Yeah, how do you insult Mr. Ed? I mean,
you say you shove something up his ass to make him talk.
Or in his case, they said that he was accepting being fucked by a carrot to get his roles.
That's what I meant.
That's what you meant?
Yeah.
That's not what you said.
Is he drinking your beer?
He's drinking my beer. That's Mr. Snickers, by the way.
The dog is licking his beer.
Mr. Snickers likes beer.
Okay. So, how did you first see this movie when you were a kid?
I believe that's Mr. Snickers, by the way. He's taking beers now. Well, when I first saw it, I think it was definitely a rerun, and I could be wrong, but it was on TBS or TNT. Yeah. I know I watched a lot of movies, a lot of these reruns before Raw would come on.
Oh, yeah.
And there would be a lot of movies that would be on. You'd see Monster Trucks, and it's like, catch this movie. So it's like Monster Trucks, whatever movie you've seen as a kid, as a rerun, and then Raw. And then, so I definitely know I've seen it on there. So I think at the time it may have been TNT or USA.
It could have been. Because this movie did definitely make its way around on the TV channels as the daytime movie and whatnot. But it still has a special space in my heart. I still find so many bits funny. I mean, there's even a bit where they actually make a kick the bucket joke.
Oh, there is. A quick kick the bucket sound.
Yeah. His Don's father dies, and you hear just someone kick a bucket.
Now, that person who thought of that, he was on coke. No, I'm kidding. No, probably not. But I do want to say that movie, now, it could be wrong. Maybe Bobcat wasn't on it, because I know he didn't like to... He made it clear... He was trying to make it very clear to people that, a lot of... he wasn't really coked out. No, and he doesn't look like he was really coked out either. He would look more fucked up. I've seen... I know...
What's funny is that Bobcat always kind of had... When he was younger, always kind of had that look of being the wild guy. I think that's why they made his character...
Yeah, but his nostrils would look fucked up if he was a cokehead.
Listen before I fucking stop talking.
Before you stop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's like that character he played in Police Academy, Zed, which like really wasn't menacing, but yet he had an aura about him that made him say, well, he could be the bad guy. He could be the wild guy. His
name was Zed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because in Pulp Fiction, Zed was a... I think we know what Zed was in Pulp Fiction.
Zed's dead, baby.
Yeah, man.
And then, have you ever seen the movie One Crazy Summer?
I probably have.
John Cusack and Demi Moore?
Probably.
That was another movie that he did where...
Back in the day, I was a kid, I just theater hopped and I would see movie after movie after movie.
Oh, God, that feels so
good. That smells so good. Was that a grilled cheese sandwich you had?
No, it's chicken.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it goes. Oh, God, yeah. Oh.
He's like right across from me. That's what you get for talking shit.
It smells so good.
One Crazy Summer is another good example of like Bobcat being that character that he always talked about, where it's, he's being a little wild and crazy and whatnot. If you haven't seen movies like One Crazy Summer or Hot to Trot, I recommend them. Do you recommend Hot to Trot?
Funny enough, this is beer and bad movies, but I would recommend that you guys get beer and you watch this bad movie. This is definitely a bad movie, too.
I don't even think it's a bad movie, though.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is, and...
it's a silly movie.
And if Bob/Cat was here, he would definitely... And is it Bobcat? His first name? Just one name, Bobcat. Like a Bobcat.
No, it's a nickname.
Oh, I knew it.
His real name is, Bobby Robert.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You say like I'm supposed to.
Again,
Water's real name is H2O. No, I did not know that Bobcat's real name was Bobby.
One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is
Rita Repulsive's How to Kill the...
no, it's I listen to Joe Rogan, and one of my favorite episodes that I listen to constantly is the episodes that Bobcat has done with him. And he talks about his past life.
That might be good and all. Joe Rogan's had some good ones, but for the most part...
I don't listen to all of his, because he'll have people in there I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
But I see Bobcat, I love God
Joe Rogan
America.
likes the smell of his own shit a lot.
I'm not going to go there.
I am going to go there.
I'm going to say this.
I'll ankle lock him.
I'm going to say this.
This is Joe Rogan down the street, by the way. The one who hasn't returned my lawnmower. Not the one you're talking about. That's Bill Parker, you see.
Bill Roberts? No, I listened to that episode that he did with Bobcat because I loved God Bless America. I love Willow Creek. I love Call Me Lucky.
I like Dawson's Creek.
Shut up. So I listen because I want to hear somebody talk about being creative, and Bobcat to me is creative. Have you seen God Bless America?
Yeah, I did. That was a pretty goddamn entertaining movie.
I love that movie. Have you seen Willow Creek?
I have. These are all, like, I'm not going to say they're not. These are all good movies. They really are, and they're well thought out. But I mean,
that's why when I wanted to have beer and bad movies, I wanted to talk about this movie.
It's things like that make me think. I think Bobcat be willing to come on here. Maybe because we're not trying to shit on people. I think we're actually trying to get educated opinions on what the hell was going on with these movies that we watched. Why we loved them growing up. Like, here's a good question for you. Why do you think, as well as me, you were attracted to more B movies than A-list movies?
Ooh. Okay, I have an answer, though.
Okay.
I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid, both daytime and primetime.
So did I.
Yeah, I would just constantly channel flip. A good example, in a movie we're going to do, not next time, but soon, Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, good. Because what I really want to do is Phantom of the Mall.
Ooh!
Danny's Revenge. Which implies that there was a part 1 that I never got to see.
Yeah.
All I know is that Danny's Revenge stands alone. Anyways. It's
all right.
For the future.
I'm done for the night. I recommend you see Hot to Trot if you want to watch a silly 80s movie with Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah. I definitely do the same thing. So I guess out of this, beer and bad movies, I guess we're going to say this movie isn't actually that bad.
No, it's not.
It's more entertaining and funny than you think. So
it's one of those movies where you just don't think. I'm not saying shut your brain off. I'm saying just try not to overanalyze this movie.
And don't fall into the trap that I did. Remember that earlier I was trying to call out for logic. I was like, God damn it, wait a minute. The horse is talking. What am I talking about? How come I never called out the horse for talking, but I'm talking about goddamn politics? Oh, man. You're right. And, shut your brain off when you watch it.
Be sure to listen to our other podcast, Booze and the Dudes. We're going to have a doozy of an episode coming up soon. Really? And the upcoming podcast of, what's it called now?
Actually, it's called I Heart the Apocalypse. And,
I like that name.
And actually, I discussed with, my relationship with her is none of your guys' goddamn business. I'd appreciate it if you guys stay out of my personal affairs. But
you're a weird guy, Ace. Weird guy.
Well, the way I see it is if people want to talk about conspiracies or hear about them, they can check out my personal channel with me and my significant other. Man, every time you burp, I gotta say, it smells like I want to cut it like a piece of steak and eat it.
That was a fart.
Is that a fart?
Yeah.
Oh, because that needs A1 steak sauce for that. And I'm going to move outside for that. So I will say goodbye for now.
Goodbye, y'all.